Hello and welcome to Lindsay Akashic channel. I am your host, Lindsay, and today we are opening the Akashic Records on whales. So let's get into it. I opened the Akashic Records prior to hitting record, and I am already feeling this really deep understanding of their existence and purpose. And I'm feeling really humbled and a little sad. But I wanna get into the messages. Very profound energy in my heart. I'm feeling it. So the opening message, the opening visual, they're showing them. They're kind of saying, the Akashic Records are saying that they're operators, and their calls, their sounds, are almost like they're reporters, and they're like reporting down into the depths of the seas. Their call resonates sound deep in the depths of the seas, and like tells the marine life and everything that lives in the water what's going on kind of close to the surface. So they're like reporters, recorders, reported operators. And so they scan the surface. They live their life kind of closer to the surface, but then they can also go really deep down. But they're showing like the reason that they're like at the surface is because they're gathering information of what's going on. They're seeing both worlds, between both worlds. So they're saying deep purpose. They have a deep purpose between worlds, between those worlds. So they come up and they interact. They gather information of what's going on in the surface, what's going on in our world. They're saying like check-ins with people, earth, land, and then they're like report back. And then they're also saying recorded. And this is something I kind of want to get into, because I've heard that humpback whales, I don't know if it's all whales, but humpback whales are the Akashic Records keepers of the animal kingdom. So they just said, hold on. What information do the records have about whales being the Akashic Records keepers of the animal kingdom? Humpback whales. All whales? Humpback whales. The record keepers. They're kind of saying like, yeah, of the animal kingdom of the sea. So that's confirming that. So then my first question is, what are whales? They're saying open records, like the way that we're connecting with the records. So there's something about them. They're like open call. So the way that they're on the surface, they have their like blowhole, that's like their channel to the air, to source. So they come up and they connect with everything and beyond from that surface level connection. And then they go deep into the depths. They're kind of saying they're like this balanced, open records. All of source. They're saying all of source. Okay, because they can interact with the depths of the water, some aspects of what's on the surface and in the land, and they interact with, people sometimes. And then also there's like all the air and the source connection. So they go to the depths and the etheric realm. They're just saying ancient wisdom keepers. Ancient wisdom keepers. They're like beginning of time, of the waters. Earlier species. Open, clear source, open, clear connection. Very old paradigm. Pure attention, pure intention. Focused purpose. They're like, they're actually saying telepathy. Whoa, they're saying telepathy. All of kinds. All of kind. Keep understanding. Keep understanding. Keep records of understanding. Monumental. Clear focus. Monument of records, record source. And they're like deep seas, deep waters, emotion, emotion body. They're saying that they're feelers, they feel. They're feelers. Oh, maybe that's why I was getting the feeling at the beginning. I was feeling this heaviness, this sadness, but also this love. It was in my heart. I was really feeling that. So how do whales contribute to the world and us? They're saying telecommunication. They're saying telepathic. We are unaware of our deep connection, our deep communication, our ability to have this connection and communication with them. It's almost like they're saying, like, they understand us. We don't yet understand them. They understand us. They've been here longer. They've been here since the beginning of our species. They've witnessed us. They understand us. We don't understand them. They actually just said they can save us if we are listening. If we are listening, they can save us. And then they're like, well, we have to save them so they can save us. They're saying clear water, clear water. How can we contribute to the well-being of whales? How can we contribute to the well-being of whales? Bystander. Bystanders. Leave them alone, bystanders. Explore, adventure, appreciate. Leave them alone, bystanders. They're showing like that the relation, like the most relationship we should have is like when we are, they're showing like a group of like tourists on a boat in the middle of the sea or anywhere where they can go whale watching and watching them break the surface. And they're showing a bunch of people clapping. They're like, the whales love that appreciation. They love that connection. Like that's how that's the only way that we should be interacting with them, is by applauding them and appreciating them and celebrating them. And I'm getting like exploring their behavior. They're like, if anything, like us trying to have more of a communication and a connection with them. But other than that, leave them alone. Like the obvious, like don't endanger them. They're saying clear waters. Like obviously clean up the waters. They're showing that like the plastic and the garbage that's in the oceans, the toxicity that's in the oceans, if there's oil in the oceans, any pollution that's in the oceans blocks this sound, the calls, blocks the communication. They're saying the telecommunication that the whales need to have to communicate with. They're kind of saying like all of the worlds, the depths, the surface, and the sky. And then they're like, as well as it just being poison and killing them, the toxicity of it. But it also blocks this necessary, they keep saying they can save us. Are they saying they can save us or we can save them? They're saying they can save us by us listening to them, trying to understand them and connecting with them. How can we connect and communicate with whales? That was my next question. How can we connect and communicate with whales? They're saying deep listening, a felt sense. So, like I've seen that there are people doing studies where they're trying to This is what they're kind of showing me, where they're trying to like decode the sounds they're making to turn it into a language that we can communicate. But what they're saying is it's a felt sense. So by hearing the calls, we get information by how we feel from the vibrations of the sounds. We get the communication by hearing the calls. How is it making us feel, right? And so many times, like, those sounds of the whales are sad, right? There's like this, that's sad. They're saying mourning. They're mourning of losses. They're mourning the loss of life. They're saying desperate. So we are hearing those calls, and they're making those calls like louder, and they're kind of saying it's like created for us to feel what they feel. So we're communicating through a felt sense. So they're saying like a clairsentience. And they're almost showing like, the way that you might listen, like receive information from a sound bath. So they're kind of like the whales are telling you through that. And you have the answers based on how you feel. You get the information. They're saying soul level through sound, the calling of them. So we actually can connect and communicate. We can understand them, but we have to pay attention to how we feel when we're listening, because it's how we feel. That's the information. That's how they're communicating to us. What wisdom do whales have for us? They said peace and freedom. Clean, clear water. Clear water, peace and freedom. What wisdom do whales have for us? Peaceful existence. The freedom, the depths of the ocean, they're kind of saying like the never-ending seas, deep pool. They're saying so much life in the depths, in the darkness. Oh, they're saying, for us, if we can think about how deep the oceans go, and that there are places we've never been, and that there's all this marine life in the depths of the ocean, there is life in the depths of the ocean, in the darkness, where you think that there's no life because we've never been there. And they're saying that in your own darkness, deep, they're saying the depths of life. There is so much life in the darkness. And they're saying, go to the depths, like within yourself, like go into the darkness, go into the darkness. They're like, there's so much life. And they're showing someone like going deeper, deeper, deeper into the ocean. They can't see anything. And then they see all these creatures that are like lit up. They're like bioluminescent, right? And they're like, there's a whole city. There are cities, there are populations. There's a whole nother world in the depths of the darkness. So they want to give that wisdom to us about our own darkness, because they're kind of like, you're like surface level darkness. And they're saying it's like so polluted. And part of that is like this symbolism of how we pollute the surface of the water. The surface of the water is like our garbage is on the surface. And it's like floating on the surface, and it's like poisoning all the surface. And they're just like, yeah, but in those depths, if you go deep, deep, deep in the darkness, there's all this beautiful, vibrant light and life. There's so much growth and life in the depths of the darkness at the bottom. What's the most important message we need to know about whales? They hear us. They know us. They know better. They're saying casualties of war. People are. Casualties of war. They're like garbage of the mind, garbage of the seas, this surface level. They're like this surface level plastic, fake plastic garbage. They're like, no real, it's not real. The fakeness. What's the most important message? They're like, clean it up. They're like, clean it up, clean up all your garbage. They're like, figure it out. Like, figure out how to clean up the garbage, all of your garbage, clean it up, get rid of it. They're like, turn it into something beautiful. They're like, trash is treasure. Turn your trash into treasure. Just figure out how to turn it into treasure. They're like one way or another. Clear waters, clear waters. And they're like old ancient wisdom keepers, Akashic Records keepers of the animal kingdom. And they're just like all of the whales. They can save us by us listening to them, listening for them. And now they're saying, the whales are saying, listen for us. Wow. That is powerful. Oh my goodness. So that's the Akashic Records on whales. I don't know about you, but I'm going to go listen to some whale songs and see if there's anything that I can feel or gather from what I'm listening to. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing you next time, and take care.